Good morning.
Good morning.
Once again, good morning and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Chico. It's my pleasure to speak this morning on the title, Then There Was Two. Then There Was Two. In this month, we're discussing the ideas of agreement. So, I was searching for the perfect opening bit of humor, because I'm trying to invoke a little more humor as possible. People who know me know that I love humor. I love humor. So, I have a new neighbor. He's single. He lives right across the street. Well, I was watching him the other day because I can see his place from my living room window. And he got home from work this past Friday evening, and I was surprised when he walked up my driveway and knocked on my door. Well, I rushed to open it, and he looks me in the eye and says, "I just got home, and I have this strong urge to have a good time. Dance, get drunk, and make love all night long. Are you busy tonight?" I quickly replied, "Nope, I'm free. I have no plans at all." He said, "Great. Could you watch my dog?" A lot of our agreements are that way. We're expecting something from how it sounds, and then we get a surprise. A surprise. So, thank you. So my quote for the month is, "Spiritual agreement is the evolution of God in us saying, I am. I am." It's the ultimate agreement as spiritual beings that we can affirm. I am, and then you fill that in. I am love. I am worthy. I am joy. I am magnificent in potential. And we are. Each one of us is. So I begin with a reading from our Science of Mind textbook, and it's on agreement. "But so far as man is concerned, outside of the automatic and necessary functions of universal mind, man is free to do as he wills, and the universal mind, as law, can know about the individual only what he knows about himself. The cosmic engine," I love that, the cosmic engine, "is started, but man guides it in his own life. It goes for him in the direction in which it is driven. This driving is not by force, but by agreement. It's by unification, and it's acquiescence." So we're giving it over with agreement. We're saying yes. We have, yeah, I embody this idea. This is for me. And then acquiescence to allow it to carry itself out. He goes on to say, "We must believe." How often do we hear this in our life? From the time we were little. Gotta believe! You gotta believe. "On this belief hangs all the law and the prophets. Heaven and hell are tied up in man's beliefs. It is the law of his life." So our beliefs are our code, are our laws, are our own ways that we do why we do what we do. This is how and the way the Spirit works. It works through us. It always works through us. And it begins with an agreement. an agreement. Now, it's not you and I agree to do something. Pat and Lee agreed to do something. But it came out of the universal principle of the one idea. They agreed on the one idea. And now in agreements, many times there are moments of intense fellowship. There's discussion. There's pushing, there's pulling, there's yes, there's no, there's ups, there's downs. But with the perfect idea, all of that is necessary to refine, to clarify, and to perfect, and to polish that gem. Well, the best agreement I know is one from the perspective of love. This year, our year's annual theme for our center is Living in Love. And every month we have a different tag on. And this one is Living in Love through agreement. Now, through is an action. Through is a process. Through is not like done deal necessarily. It could be. But it's through our agreements that we move into whatever's next for us. And I want to emphasize about this the absolute importance of the idea, living through our agreements. Because all that we agree with, everything we agree with, becomes us. It becomes us. We're always becoming. We're always growing. We're always evolving. It becomes us. Because all we are saying yes to creates an experience in our life. We are the human container of our beliefs and our yeses. And our no's. And our no's. And those yeses and no's operate as a result of our deeply held beliefs in them, or about them, or around them. And they do so, how? Through us. Through our agreements, through our beliefs in them. But it has to happen through us. It doesn't just happen. We can have a great idea. And we sit there and listen to the idea many times. But how often do we not act upon that idea? Our fears get in the way. Our friends get in our way. Some of our best advocates get in our way at times. And then there are those that will say yes. I listen to all of them because by rights of consciousness, I've attracted that. And so as part of my process, I talked about Pat and Lee, part of that intense fellowship within myself that allows the agreement to become more clear. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, assured us in the textbook, it works for us as it spreads itself over the whole universe and shouts at us only when we recognize it as a power. This is a powerful teaching. But it has to come through us. How many understand the power of water as it's backed up behind the dam? We are the dam. There's all this power awaiting our turning on the valve or lifting the gates, opening the flow. And it's here. Oh, it's always here. There's never a shortage of this water behind us, this power behind us. But it has to come through us. It has to come through us. We are the power brokers. We are the administrators of our lives. And life is meant to be an experience. So if we're holding back all this power, we ain't living. We're just a dam. Isn't that a pretty dam? Look at that dam. Best dam I ever saw. Look, all the water's good. Boring. There's no sound, there's no rush, there's nothing. When a dam lets go of water, you ever experienced that? Or had an overflow? A waterfall is another example. The power that I feel when I'm in that experience. It's the same power that we have when we allow this power spirit to work through us. So what is your experience? You having a powerful experience in this life? Have you come through some things in your life? I have. I know many of you have. You come through it. And there's that power coming through you to get you through to the next. Is your life fun? Is it lively? Is it joyous? Is it creative? Does it have direction? Yeah, maybe. More or less. Have you a purpose? Well, religious science offers us a little bit of a window on the purpose. Our purpose is happiness, health, prosperity, and creative living. Pretty basic, pretty broad. It's like a wide open, uncharted territory for us. Happiness, health, prosperity, and creative living. How about those? Can you all accept one or two or four of those? Yeah. That's for yourselves. And our physical bodies, guess what, are the vehicles and means for expressing all of these. All of these. And so when we're experiencing something less than, it's good. Because then we can look at our belief. We can look at the way it's working through us at that moment and say, I don't want that anymore. I want this. We can choose a different perspective on living. Who's seen the movie Unbroken? I know the story, but I've not seen the movie. I watched Louis, the man it was about, interviewed him, I guess about 10 years ago. He was talking about, and the interviewer said, you know, you're a hero. You have all these medals, you have all these things, and you've come through all of this. And here's this movie being created about you, and a book written about you. And he said, how do you feel about that? And Louis said, you know, I went to the hospital a while back, and I was in the presence of veterans, soldiers, who had lost all 4 limbs, and a lot of other parts too. And you know what that did for me, he said? I went home, he said, and I put away all of my medals, put them in a drawer, because I'm not the hero. They are. And so his perspective had a shift. Not that he wasn't worthy of all, yeah, he didn't, but these he saw as heroes. He was passing on he was flowing through the idea of spirit toward them. And spirit is that invisible dweller within our bodies. Bodies that think and feel and dream and hope and aspire. I love the word, aspire. What do you aspire to? Spiritually. What do you aspire to? Our bodies are important. Our bodies are important. But more important than the body is the mind. The mind. The one mind of God we talk about here at the center in this teaching. The infinite mind of God is the source and essence of all that is. And as we remember that, then everything else around us, our bodies first, there's a change. We feel it. How many of you can say with conviction, I'm a worm of the dust? Don't believe it, do you? There's something that's not true about that. There's something that's not true about that. But when you say, I am love, say that, I'm love.
I'm love.
Does that feel good? When we affirm those sorts of truths. When we affirm the truth, our body knows it. Mind is the source and the origin of everything. It is first cause. And here in this teaching, we believe that the energy of God, of Spirit, finds an outlet in and through everything. We see it in nature. We believe this life is the one life back of all things. It is both masculine and feminine. So I guess we're all androgynous, huh? Just with different lipsticks and stuff, hats. And every aspect of divine nature is included as this oneness. So every aspect, each one of us has access to, through us. It's already within us, within the mind. So the one God, the one life, the one universal intelligence is one. Each one of us, individualized, out of this one. But all of this oneness, all of this creative energy, all that good, it awaits our use of it. It awaits our use of it. And it can only be used one way. How is that? How is that, students? Through us. Through us. It's like extending a hand when you come into the center here. I always stand there like this. What is the perfect agreement between myself and who's next? It might be eye contact. That's perfect. Could be a handshake. Could be a pat. Could be a full-on body hug. Whatever it is. So honoring an agreement in life is being aware of the other individual as well. Just because I like to give a full body squeeze on doesn't mean everybody is. So there's a healthy honoring and respect and a balance in, as of yet, maybe an unknown agreement. And sometimes that agreement changes. Sometimes last week somebody would have given you a full body hug, next time they walk right on by. And it's okay. It's whatever needs to be happening and experienced in the moment. We are the ones that bring forth our good, using our ability to agree, to choose, to say yes to that which is within, and to live. And to live. And when we say yes and decide to live, oh boy. Oh boy. It can be the greatest ride of our lives. It can. It can. But choice is the greatest gift that I know that we have. Our choice. Did you know that? When you ask someone, oh, what's the greatest gift you have? Well, I might have love, or I do this, or I do that. Well, it's choice. Choice. It's a way to do, to experience. At any given moment, there's the opportunity to make the decision that will send us further down our path of life. One voice I prefer to listen to is the inner voice, spirit. But there are moments when we say yes or no to an outside influence. The four agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz tells us, don't take anything personally. Yikes. Yikes. The first one I used last week, be impeccable with your word. That's okay, all right. You can kind of do that one. But don't take anything personally. You're stupid. How'd you get so fat? Well, you're dumb. Don't know what you're talking about. That guy up there, blah, blah, blah. So, we get that. We hear things, we experience things, Sometimes that even comes from within us. We'll retract. And if we take it personally, then we tend to shrink inside. I know I do. The book tells us we take things personally because we have been taught we are responsible for everything. You. And because of this already belief, we tend to agree with some of those statements. Nothing other people do is because of you. Nothing other people do is because of you. Are you getting swayed like me? Ooh, yeah. If someone gives you their unsolicited opinion, don't take it personally. Because the truth is that this person is dealing with their own beliefs and their own feelings and their own opinions. There's a statement, what you think of me is none of my business. You've heard that?
I love that. Oh, yeah.
Love that. And it's true to the degree. Because we're always in choice, aren't we? To agree with or not. But that's the agreement. Yes or no. There's an example of someone firing a missile. And it's, if you can imagine, an arrow with something negative shot at you. And it lands in the ground at your feet, where it should land. It is our choice to bend over, pick it up, and take it on. We do that. We have beliefs. We think we should. We don't have to. But there's an underlying agreement that says we should or should not. Each of us is a thinking, willing, knowing, discerning center of consciousness. And we're power brokers of our own lives. And we allow the Spirit to do what it does, hopefully, knowingly, I'm knowing for you, with ease and with grace, by right choosing. By right choosing. There is a power greater than you, and you can use it. Ernest Holmes was very clear about that. And in fact, we do use it all the time. And it's this power of agreement that we use for our lives that move us. Don't be afraid. Find out what your agreements are. Be a spiritual warrior. See what those arrows are that you've picked up. And be ready to conquer the fears and the false beliefs that we carry. The more I learn about myself and the more I heal myself, the more I understand that there is more to let go of. And each time it's a little easier. It's a little easier. But some of those beliefs are so automatic that, guess what?
Not even aware.
Got me again. Got me again. So, when we're looking into life, be excited, be expectant, like a parent awaiting the unborn child. Demand the magnificence to which we're all entitled. Demand, demand, demand. Because it's yours by birthright. How much are you willing to accept? How much good are you willing to accept? Ralph Waldo Emerson tells us, and said it so well, there is no greater and no small to the soul that maketh all. It is the ability within our minds and hearts to say yes to whatever is best for us, to our greater. And in that full and complete and powerful yes, that word yes, the creative nature of God has to move. The floodgates open. Demonstration is assured. So how much can you believe? How much can you accept? I suggest you shake loose all those mental shackles that we've placed upon ourselves. Those opinions of others, because they're there. And those within yourself that say, I am not good enough. Let that one go. Because you are good enough. Believe it. So I leave you with these 4 ideas. Begin living in love through new and magnificent agreements. Make them magnificent. Well, maybe I could have a little more of that. How big is your dream? Second, there is the loving presence which resides within you. Let it out. Third, give this presence rise through you, beginning right now. Beginning right now. Let it rise up and be seen. And the fourth, always celebrate and accept this goodness. For it is God providing unconditional love through you. For that's the only way it can, through you. And so, beloveds, be prepared for the time of your life. Namaste.
Namaste.